analysis is how we will convert from one unit to another in cases that are not straight from one metric unit to another, though we will use metric conversions now for practice. Let's begin. The basics of dimensional analysis are this. The setup looks kind of like a fence. And there are 5 steps in order to use dimensional analysis. Step 1 is intended for the unknown variable. Step 2 is intended for the given information. Step 3 is intended for any conversions or equations related to the problem. This is where you can put the mass of elements or etc. Step 4 is intended for the dimensional analysis setup or the equation substitution. And step 5 is the answer. Okay, let's try a problem. So, using our 5-step rule, we are going to be solving 23.9 kilometers to meters. Okay, so our first step is for our unknown variable, which is meters. So we're going to write that there. Step 2 is our given information, which is our 23.9 kilometers. And then step 3 is any conversions or equations. So one thing that will be helpful in solving for meters is knowing that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Okay, now we can set up our fence and solve. So we always start with step 2, our given information. So we're going to write 23.9 kilometers. Now we have to cancel out this kilometers by writing kilometers down below. So we will just write 1 kilometer and those cancel out. Now 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, so we can write this up here. Look, now we're solving for meters. So now we can go ahead and do the math. So you multiply the top row and then divide it by the multiplied bottom row. So 23.9 times 1,000 divided by 1. So 23.9 times 1,000 comes out to 23,900 divided by 1, so just 23,900 meters. That's our answer, which we write in step 5, always box. Now let's try one more easy problem and then we can do a harder problem. This time, we're finding the amount of seconds in 24 hours. So let's go ahead and write our steps. Okay. Step 1 is our unknown variable, seconds. Step 2 is our given information, 24 hours. Step 3 are any conversions or equations. So we can write something like 1 minute and 60 seconds, 1 hour and 60 minutes. And then, let's begin. So we always start with our given, 24 hours. And then, what we need to write next is 60 minutes, which is equal to 1 hour. So we're going to write this down here. And then those cancel out. So now we can write 60 minutes up top. Now we have to cancel out the minutes, so we write 1 minute. Cancels out, and 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Okay, now we're finding our unknown variable right here. So now what we have to do is multiply 24 times 60 times 60 all over 1. Because 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, now once you multiply 24 times 60 times 60 divided by 1, that gives you 86,400 seconds. Now we have to keep in mind sig figs, which we determine from this number from our given. So we have 2 sig figs here, but we have 3 here. So we have to round this 4 down. So it's only 8,600 seconds, which is our answer. 86,000 seconds, sorry. Always box. Okay, now let's try another problem. How many moles of water are produced when 5.55 moles of H2 react with excess gas? Our first step is to balance this equation, which I'm just going to do for you. It'll be 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now, first we find our unknown variable, which is moles of water. Second, we find our given, which is 5.55 moles of hydrogen. And lastly, for step 3, we find any conversions or equations. So 1 mole of H2 equals 1 mole of H2O, because we're trying to solve for this, for hydrogen and water. And since the ratio is 2 to 2, this reduces to 1 to 1. So that's why 1 mole of hydrogen is equal to 1 mole of water. Next, we start with our given, 5.55 moles of H2. Remember, step 2 is the given. And then now we have to cancel out H2. So we'll go ahead and write 1 mole of hydrogen. And then now 1 mole of hydrogen is equal to 1 mole of H2O. And we're trying to find moles of H2O. So we can just write 1 mole of H2O up top. And these will be canceled out. So now all you have to do is do 5.55 times 1 divided by 1. So the answer is 5.55 moles of H2O, which we write in step 5.
Thanks, Katie. You've taught me so much.